Brian Hamlet with newmediaworkshop.tv, and I'm going to show you how to install the Quantcast website analytics software into your website to begin tracking your website data. Now, Quantcast, what makes it very much different from the free software from Google Analytics, is that it tracks more audience information in terms of demographics. You can get some great data that has to do with the gender, the nationality, the location of your website visitors, more information in terms of their household income, and basically a lot more information that focuses on the people coming to your website, whereas Google Analytics focuses a lot more on what anyone does when they come to your website, how many pages they visit, how long they're on the website, but doesn't do as well of a job at defining the demographics. So to install the Quantcast statistics software into your website, we're going to go to www.quantcast.com. And this is also a free service that you can sign up for. Once you come to the home page of Quantcast, in the upper right hand corner, we're going to click on Create Account. And we need to fill out this information to create our free Quantcast account. So in this case, we're going to input our Gmail account is what we use for all of our tutorials. So I'm going to insert my email address, insert my full name. In this case, you do not have to input your company information, but you can if you would like to. Industry is also something that is optional, but there are some benefits when you get into the more advanced settings within Quantcast for selecting this. In our case, we're just going to select a site owner. Create a password for yourself. There is an option here to sign up for their newsletter service, completely optional, and their terms of service, which you do need to agree to set up the free account. At the bottom here, we're going to fill in what's called the CAPTCHA. This is used for security on websites just to make sure that it's not a spam or anyone trying to create an account. Now, once we've input that information, we are now going to have an automated email sent to the email address that we used to sign up for this account. So you will need to be ready to look into your email account in order to see the activation email sent by Quantcast. So we're going to log here into our Gmail. You'll see it right here at the top. Within this email, you will see this line right here mentioning to access and complete the setup of your account, we've got to click this link to actually activate it. So now at this point, it's going to send you back to the Quantcast website. You should already be signed in, and if you are not, it will ask you for your email address and the password you used to sign up. Once you have, you should see this screen right here letting you know that you do not have any data yet because you have not connected this to any of your websites. So what we're going to do here is this button right in this green box here called Generate Tag. You will also see it on the right hand side for if you want to add this to any additional sites. This box, Quantify Your Site, will always appear. We're going to click Generate Tag. Brings this pop-up where we insert the website address for the site we want to load the software into. We're going to use our demo website that we like to use for our tutorials. Underneath here, it's actually the code for the Quantcast software. There are some additional options below. This Add Choices privacy icon has to do with how advertisements will be displayed on your website, and also a little bit to do with ad tracking onto other websites. If you have ads on your websites, this is an optional thing for you if you so decide to do it. There's a Learn More link here if you want more information about it. If you are not running any ads on your website, I would go ahead and leave this unchecked. There are also additional advanced settings that have to do with creating audience segments on your website. Now, this is a much more advanced level of using the Quantcast software, and in the purpose of this tutorial, we're not going to display that. So we're going to leave that unchecked as well. At this point, we need to copy our code. And what we're going to do is pull up our text edit program, or if you are actually using On a Windows machine, you can open your Notepad program, and we're going to paste our code into a fresh document. That way we can easily pull it back later when we need it. So I'm going to go back over to my web browser here and click Submit Site. That's actually going to start the process for them scanning the website, even though we have not loaded it into our website yet. That's okay. Don't worry about that. So now we're going to go back to, I'm going to open up a new tab, go to our website. Now the first example we're going to show is for a WordPress website. If you are not currently using WordPress to power your website, you just have a static HTML website. You can tell that typically because your web pages end in the extension .html. Don't worry, I'm going to show that after we go through our WordPress example. So we're going to go to our WordPress website, to the administration console, and log in. Now, what's important to mention here is you should be able to see on the left-hand side in the navigation this menu option called Appearance, and most importantly, the option within the Appearance section called Editor. If you do not see either the Appearance navigation menu or the Editor option within the Appearance submenu, you need to contact the individual, the organization, the firm, or your hosting provider that helped you set up your website and ask them for administration level access to your WordPress install. Typically, the reason you will not see that is you are set for a lower access level and you will need an administrator level to install this. Now, underneath Appearance, we're going to click on the Editor option. What's important to note here is that in the bottom left-hand corner, you see a button, blue button called Update File. If you do not see this button, this means that your hosting settings are currently not set with appropriate permissions that will allow you to edit your files within WordPress. Again, if you do not see that button, you will need to contact the person, the organization, firm, or your hosting provider to make sure that the permissions are correctly set on your website to allow you to make these edits. Otherwise, you'll have to make them on your computer and actually upload files into your server, which is a whole nother process. Now, once we're here, you can see in the middle, you'll see an open window that's got a lot of code within it. We're actually viewing the files of the web templates loaded in our WordPress install. In the upper right-hand corner, you will see a drop-down that's got a list of all the active themes that have been installed into your WordPress system. Be sure to select the theme that you are currently using for your website. In our case, it is already set for the 2011 theme, which is what we're using for our WordPress tutorial website. Once you have done this, what we're going to be looking for is the option here called Footer. The file name is footer.php. Click that link to open that file for editing. You'll notice in the large window in the center that it has changed to show the code for the footer file. And what we need to do is copy and paste the code that we got from Quantcast into our footer file before the closing body tag. This is what the closing body tag looks like. Our code has to go before that to be read correctly. So I'm actually going to select my cursor in the location before that tag, go back to my notepad where I can grab the Quantcast code, copy it, go back to my WordPress installation, and paste that code right before that closing body tag. Now, once I've done that, I can click the Update File button. I'll see that my file has been edited successfully, and at this point I have now connected the Quantcast software from my website to the Quantcast service. Now if I click on Home, it'll try to refresh and it'll tell me that it's scanning the websites. Now it takes between 24 and 48 hours for this code to be scanned and connected into Quantcast, so do not worry if you do not see any data coming in yet. It takes a period of time for this data to be captured to start generating reports. But essentially, that has been completed for our website. Now, that was for a WordPress installation. Let's say you have a static HTML website that you have to edit the files on your computer and upload them via a program such as FTP. You need to open your HTML files within either an HTML editor. In this case, I'm using a program called Adobe Dreamweaver, or you can actually open these files in your Windows Notepad application or on the Mac, the text edit program. Either way, you should see code that look like so. And this was the same exact file that we just copied and pasted the code in before. So you can see I've got this space before my closing body tag. I can go back to my text edit program, copy my Quantcast code again, and then paste it into that location before the closing body tag. Now my code has been inserted. I can save this file, and we'll need to upload it via a program such as FTP, File Transfer Protocol. Now we're not going to show in this example how to use those programs because there's actually a lot of different programs that you can use to do this and ways to accomplish this. We'll show that in another tutorial. However, this is important to note for all static HTML websites. In order for every page of your website to be tracked using the Quantcast service, you actually need to open every file and paste the Quantcast code before the closing body tag in every page that you want to track. So you can see it takes a lot more to get this installed into a static HTML website, but it is very important if you want to track every page of your website. So if you have a 10-page site, you'll need to copy and paste this 10 times. Now, once you've pasted that code and saved all of those files with the new updates, you can upload them via FTP to overwrite the old files with your web hosting provider, and the Quantcast service will be installed on your website. Now, if you have any questions or you're having any trouble with how to do this, feel free to leave us a comment below and we'll help you get this installed on your website, and be on the lookout in the future for further tutorials for how to use the Quantcast software with your website. This is another tutorial of newmediaworkshop.tv.